Top 10 Darkest Secrets of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was created in 1886 by a drug specialist named Dr. John Smith Pemberton. Since its origin, it has immediately gotten one of the biggest and most compelling organizations on the planet. Love or abhor their beverages, everybody recognizes what Coca-Cola is. Be that as it may, what numerous individuals may not know is the dull history and realities behind this world-well-known beverage. 10. Water shortages. We all realize that the specific equation to make Coca-Cola is stayed quiet. It will most likely remain that path for quite a while, if not for eternity. While we don't know all that is placed into Coca-Cola, we do realize that they without a doubt use water. You can't make most beverages without water, so it's not astounding that the sweet beverage has a great deal of water in it. This, be that as it may, turns into an issue in nations that have issues getting perfect water on a steady basis. It takes a great deal of water to make only one jug of Coca-Cola, and this has brought about less fortunate nations not having any entrance to water because of Coca-Cola production lines spending the entirety of the fluid. Not exclusively individuals not have enough water to drink, yet they need more water for their yields, which means they additionally pass up watering, devouring, and making the food they have to endure. 9. Employees dying. You wouldn't imagine that working at a Coca-Cola industrial facility could bring about anybody biting the dust, yet that is actually what befallen a few Coca-Cola assembly line laborers in Colombia. It was in 1986, and the day began generally typical when the production line was out of nowhere trapped by a lot of wild peered toward individuals from a close-by paramilitary gathering. A Colombian Coca-Cola official attempted to get the men to leave, however the men can't and they wound up murdering the official. This brought about the paramilitary gathering giving Coca-Cola a final proposal: be calm and leave, or bite the dust. Obviously, the representatives left the processing plant as fast as could be expected under the circumstances, where the gathering assumed control over the production line and made it theirs. Coca-Cola, despite everything, gets analysis for this, as they did almost no to discover why this homicide went down in any case. Also, when the production line in the long run opened up once more, the vast majority of the first specialists were just terminated. 8. False advertising. Coca-Cola clearly needs to be the greatest drink organization on the planet. Now, it's protected to state that they presumably are. Despite the fact that their size hasn't prevented them from purchasing out organizations so as to get however much cash flow as could reasonably be expected. This is the thing that occurred in India in 1977. Coca-Cola had started their extension to India selling their items at nearby shops. Sadly, they didn't work out quite as well as they arranged. Hardly any individuals purchased their item and Coca-Cola lost a ton of cash, so they left before they could lose any more cash. Then in 1977, an Indian organization called Thumbs Up showed up, and they sold their own bubbly beverage. Coca-Cola had just left, leaving the open door for another organization to have its spot. Coca-Cola wound up purchasing the Thumbs Up organization and rebranding it. This made individuals believe they're giving their cash to Thumbs Up, yet it truly winds up in the pockets of Coca-Cola. This implies Coca-Cola is selling Coca-Cola without individuals in any event acknowledging it. 7. Aggressive selling tactics. We as a whole ability solid water it is. We likewise realize that we have to drink a better than average sum each and every day, except there was where Coca-Cola was totally debilitating against that. All Coca-Cola needed to do was get however much cash flow as could be expected by urging individuals to drink Coke over water. To do this, they propelled a crusade that passed by the name H2 No. This battle should get servers and servers to push Coca-Cola on clients as opposed to exhausting old water. Coca-Cola was attempting to get eateries on their side by saying water would essentially exhaust the clients, and that Coca-Cola would rather cause them to feel hum. Perhaps they accepted clients would spend more cash on food, which would profit both Coca-Cola and the cafes over the long haul. This was essentially a path for Coca-Cola to bring down their opposition, water. In addition, they got some additional money all the while. 6. Health concerns. Can Coca-Cola execute you? In the event that you drink enough of it, it evidently can. Coca-Cola confronted analysis when a lady from New Zealand evidently alcoholic herself to death by drinking a lot of the pop. She was just 30, and she went through the majority of her days swallowing down a great many jugs of Coca-Cola. The coroner who watched the lady's body said that a considerable lot of her ailments could be connected back to her Coca-Cola dependence, which brings up the issue. Just how addictive is Coca-Cola? There's no uncertainty that numerous individuals drink Coca-Cola a few times each day, yet what's never recognized by the organization is the thing that makes their specific fixing so addictive that it can prompt a grown-up's death. The coroner said that on the off chance that she wasn't drinking so much Coca-Cola, at that point she despite everything would have been alive, something Coke never truly looked up to. 5. Marketing towards children. During the 1990s, Coca-Cola was attempting to handle getting the more youthful ages to devour their items. The 90s were where things were gradually changing with respect to what we ate and drank, however Coca-Cola rushed to hop and verify that children would drink their items and their items just while at school. The organization would hand over cash to schools which would bring about Coca-Cola getting the rights to sell their beverages in said schools. This brought about one New York school getting an arena with a monster Coca-Cola sign, which implied kids were being publicized to in any event, when at school. Schools were then asked to offer the items to the children, in spite of how undesirable a lot of the item can be. Schools were even undermined with getting less cash in the event that they sold beverages like milk and organic product juices. 4. Exploiting farmers. Coca-Cola plainly has no issues attempting to prevail over their opposition and get however much cash flow as could be expected. This can be seen with how they source their fixings. The organization used to get their coca leaves from nearby ranchers in Peru, and some state that a portion of the U.S. processing plants are as yet doing this. The issue with that will be that coca leaves are on the whole illicit around the world. They are usually used to make cocaine, and this, obviously, is an unlawful medication. The genuine issue is that coca leaves can in fact be utilized for different things also. Lawful things, similar to candy. On the off chance that they're made accurately, of course, because of the medication laws that have been actualized, these ranchers in Peru can just offer their items to Coca-Cola. They're the main organization in the US that is permitted to approach the leaves. This implies Coca-Cola can request the leaves for basically any value they need, which leaves a great deal of the ranchers poor and battling, something Coca-Cola doesn't generally address regardless of how much cash the organization makes. 3. Misleading medical studies. The Coca-Cola organization was enduring an onslaught a couple of years back because of their exploration division workers standing in opposition to unfortunate behavior. Coca-Cola has consistently been marked as an organization that advances unfortunate, sweet beverages. Coca-Cola's beverages contain a considerable amount of sugar, and we as a whole realize that sugar can prompt stoutness. Coca-Cola, in any case, was subsidizing researchers who might rather accuse individuals essentially not exercising. Coca-Cola needed the world to realize that corpulence had nothing to do with what an individual devoured, and everything to do with their absence of development and exercise. Many individuals guaranteed Coca-Cola was by and large incredibly untrustworthy with the information they were sharing, as it didn't think about exactly how harming sweet beverages can be. The organization said that heftiness couldn't be managed by chopping down calories, something that a great deal of nutritionists can't help contradicting. 2. Originally contained cocaine. Coca-Cola used to contain hints of cocaine in their beverages. It may seem like some senseless urban legend you heard at school, however the facts demonstrate that the bubbly beverage used to contain the medication. There have been innumerable contradictions on what amount was included in the beverage, however the truth of the matter is that Coca-Cola used to utilize coca leaves in their items, and some state that they despite everything do. In those leaves, you'll discover cocaine alkaloid, which, obviously, can be utilized to make cocaine. In 1903, the organization started to gradually expel cocaine from their beverages, for the most part in light of the fact that a great deal of white Americans got stressed over the mind-boggling measure of African Americans who were purchasing Coca-Cola. Many weren't permitted to utilize wellsprings, so they wound up simply purchasing their own beverages. White Americans were dreadful this would bring about them being assaulted by individuals expending the medication-filled fluid, so Coca-Cola proceeded onward from the leaves. 1. Coca-Cola wine? Now we as a whole realize that Coca-Cola had hints of cocaine in their beverages, however did you realize that Coca-Cola was initially intended to be a straight-up mixed beverage? Coca-Cola should be straightforward however sweet-tasting wine, yet denial came around, making the general beverage illicit. That was the point at which the maker of Coca-Cola chose to incorporate cocaine into the beverages. They then rebranded the beverage as a cerebral pain fix, with the therapeutic force originating from the cocaine. This was, obviously, a period before individuals truly comprehended what sort of harm cocaine could really do. While Coca-Cola never appears to truly recognize the odd things in their beverages, they were scrutinized as of late in view of reports that were discharged. The reports expressed that Coca-Cola did without a doubt contain hints of liquor, which doesn't seem, by all accounts, to be composed anyplace on the container. This created a scene, particularly in nations that have a severe enemy of liquor culture.